Can you explain what people get in return for their $2,500? Australian, that is.
Absolutely. So, as Laurie mentioned, my co-founder, Global Change Solutions charges a fee of 2,500 Australian dollars plus GST, so 10%. For that price, effectively what you get is, one is peace of mind that everything over here is managed on your behalf through us. Second is you get a lifetime access to all of our services. And this is very important because we are a growing business. We started initially with one migration agent. We now work with multiple migration agents. We work with renters agents. We work with asset finance people, conveyances, mortgage finance people. Our list is growing continuously, and it will continue to grow. So for your membership price of $2,500, effectively what you buy is you buy access to all of our services that we have available today, but also in 10 years' time when we are 3 to 5 times the size we are currently, you will still have access to those services at no extra cost on our behalf.
So, James, do you want to take a moment just to explain how the application process works from the time that a client will make an initial inquiry through to their future relationship with us upon arriving in the country?
Yeah, of course. So the initial process obviously is you either found us through an advertisement that was online, or you found us through word of mouth. Now, if you found it through word of mouth, it's quite simple. You're more than likely going to trust the person that gave you that referral because we clearly did a great job. If you found us through an ad, what happens effectively, the next step is that we have a video interview with you. So we'll send you a message through WhatsApp or through email, and in there will be a link. That link takes you to a meeting page. As soon as you set up a meeting with us, then obviously we will have that meeting with you. The next step is that we will take payment from you, either in full or part payment. Then we will put you on to our migration agent, and we start the visa application process from there. Now, in terms of the visa application process, there are many, many different routes, many different prices according to those visas. Unfortunately, we have no control over those costs or over the timelines that it takes to apply for these visas. Some of the simpler visas are, your ones like your student visa or your working holiday visas. Some of your more complicated ones are sponsorships and business visas. Some of them take 2 or 3 weeks to apply for. Some of them take months to apply for. So in terms of giving you a specific answer as to how long it takes or how much it costs on the visa application perspective, I can't give you a solid answer because it's a matrix. It moves around. And it is unfortunately entirely reliant upon the Australian government. The next step, once you've applied for your visa application, is you wait for your approval. So whilst we're waiting for your approval, the next step is for us to get everything organized on your behalf. So we start having conversations with people in the cities that you want to move to. So for instance, we're based in Melbourne. If you wanted to move to Melbourne, then we would start having conversations with potential employers, with renters agents that we have over here. We would start having conversations with those guys to find you a place to live. And anything else that you think that you need when you move here, we would start that process. As soon as you've been approved from your visa application, we effectively encourage you to go and book a flight pretty much as soon as you're ready. Now, obviously there are constraints. If you have a lease, for instance, that doesn't end, or you've just signed a new job application, or you have notice to provide to an employer, obviously we take those into account. So you pretty much book whenever you're ready to book. Your visa application, I believe, as soon as it's been signed off from the government, then effectively it's ready for you to come and move into. And at that point, that's when you book your flight, you land, and then we hopefully get to have a face-to-face conversation with you.
I will also point out that in terms of the interview process before payment is taken, it's actually a 3-meeting process. So there's an initial discovery conversation, then there's a follow-up research conversation, and then there's a final decision-making process. So there's no pressure to be able to sign on the dotted line on the first appointment. We want people to be quite considered about this approach. It's a big deal moving countries, and we want We want you to feel very comfortable with your decision. And in terms of payment before referral, just to, I guess, reiterate, there's been a lot of work go into forming the relationships that we have got. These are very trustworthy, reputable people who you will be able to look up on various different government bodies, because they all have to be registered. Everything has to be totally above board. So when you're paying the fee, that's reflective of the groundwork that we've done in forming those relationships. So you can have confidence that it's not just us asking for $2,500 for no reason. It's reflective of the work in terms of establishing those relationships that you're going to need to rely upon and trust, because those are the relationships that you are going to be backboning off once you arrive here.
The other thing is that every client that comes over becomes part of the Global Change Solutions family or community. One of the biggest problems with moving to Australia by yourself is it's not actually how difficult it is, it's the loneliness. And it's probably the last thing you'd ever think of, but it can be very daunting to move here by yourself. And moving here and getting on a plane is actually very easy. The tough part is, can I survive the next 6 months without really knowing anybody, apart from some co-workers that I'm not really friends with yet? I don't have family around me. I don't know my neighbors, my housemates, whatever else. It's a very different country, and it can be very hard to integrate if you don't know, or if you don't have a community of people around you. And that is something that Global Change Solutions aims to provide, as well as just your basic services. So once again, thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to follow us on our social media, we are going pretty nuts on our social media at the moment, so feel free to give us a follow. We post content every day, if not every other day. Some of it's more interesting than others. This video, I'm sure, will feature as one of the best ones, now that we're both actually in it. And yeah, have an awesome day, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. Cheers.